Dawn Ultra costs about $5 for a 30-ounce bottle at Walmart. That works out to roughly 16 cents per ounce. The active grease-cutting chemistry inside it? I can buy that same chemistry in powdered form for around $9. And it lasts me 8 months instead of 3 weeks. I'm not exaggerating. I ran the test for 90 days. Same kitchen, same dishes, same greasy pans. And the powder outperformed the liquid on the worst grease I could find. Stay with me on this one. The average American household spends between $40 and $60 a year on dish soap. Dawn alone holds the #1 spot in North America by sales. Most people grab the same bottle every grocery trip without thinking about it. I did too, for about 15 years. Here's the part that bothered me once I started reading labels. The bottle you're paying 16 cents an ounce for is mostly water. The first ingredient on every major dish soap? Water. After that comes surfactants, fragrance, dye, and preservatives. The actual grease-cutting work is done by a small percentage of the bottle. Everything else is just delivery system. You're paying brand prices to ship water from a factory to your kitchen sink. The math doesn't add up, and nobody put the alternative in the dish soap aisle. Here's why it actually works, and it's simpler than you think. Grease is made of fatty molecules. They don't dissolve in water. That's the whole problem your dish soap is trying to solve. The way liquid dish soap handles this is with surfactants. They wrap around grease droplets and let water rinse them away. There's another way, an older way. It's called saponification. When you mix an alkaline compound with grease, the grease itself gets converted into soap. Not coated, converted. The molecule changes. Sodium carbonate, also known as washing soda, has a pH of around 11. Hot water plus washing soda turns kitchen grease into a water-soluble compound that rinses straight down the drain. The chemistry textbook calls this base-catalyzed hydrolysis. The soap industry has been doing it for 2,000 years. Before sodium hydroxide existed commercially, soap was made by leaching potassium carbonate out of wood ashes. Same family of chemistry, same alkaline reaction. Different price tag. A box of Arm & Hammer Super Washing Soda is 55 ounces for under $5 at Walmart. 3 times the volume of a Dawn bottle. About half the price. Different aisle. Alright, here's the build. Took me about 3 minutes to set up. Should take you about the same. You'll need 3 things. First, 1 box of Arm & Hammer Super Washing Soda. Yellow box. Laundry aisle at Walmart. Around $4.80 for 55 ounces. Some stores carry it for less. Second, a glass jar with a lid. Anything mason jar size works. Free if you save a pasta sauce jar. Third, hot tap water. That's the entire ingredient list. Step 1. Boil or heat about 2 cups of water. You want it hot, not scalding. Around 150 degrees Fahrenheit if you have a thermometer. If not, just below the temperature where steam starts rising hard. Step 2. Add 3 tablespoons of washing soda to the hot water in your jar. Stir until fully dissolved. The water will go slightly cloudy, then clear up. That's normal. Step 3. Let it cool to room temperature. As it cools, you'll see some crystallization at the bottom. That's also normal. Just shake before each use. That's your base solution. About 1/4 cent per ounce. Now here's the part most tutorials skip. For everyday dishes, this solution alone works on plates, glasses, and utensils. For heavy grease, cast iron pans, baking sheets with cooked-on oil, the inside of a microwave, you sprinkle the dry powder directly onto the wet surface and scrub. Quick safety note before I go further. Washing soda is more alkaline than baking soda. It can dry out your skin if you handle it dry for long periods. Wear dish gloves if you have sensitive hands. Don't use it on aluminum pans, fiberglass, or waxed wood. It will dull the surface. For everything else, stainless, glass, ceramic, cast iron, plastic, you're fine. Total cost, $4.80 for the box. 1 pasta sauce jar from your recycling. Hot tap water. You're done. Now, here's the part I was most curious about. Let's see what the numbers say. I set up a controlled test in my kitchen. 2 identical cast iron pans, both used to fry bacon, then left for 48 hours so the grease set hard. I weighed each pan before and after cleaning to measure how much grease came off. Pan 1, cleaned with Dawn Ultra. 2 pumps of liquid, hot water, standard scrub sponge. 3 minutes of scrubbing. The pan came clean. Weight removed, 11.2 grams of bacon residue. Pan 2, cleaned with my washing soda solution. Sprinkled 1 teaspoon of dry powder directly on the wet pan, then poured my hot solution over it. Same scrub sponge. 2 minutes and 40 seconds. Weight removed, 12.1 grams of bacon residue. The washing soda removed slightly more grease, slightly faster. I genuinely didn't expect that going in. I ran the same test on a baking sheet covered in burnt-on cheese. Same result. The washing soda cleared cooked-on residue faster than the liquid did. Now the cost math. Dawn Ultra at $5 per 30 ounces, using a half teaspoon per dish, gives you roughly 240 dishwashes per bottle. That's about 2 cents per wash. Washing soda at $4.80 per 55 ounces, using 1 teaspoon per dish, gives you over 1,000 dishwashes per box. That's under half a cent per wash. Annual savings if you wash 3 loads of dishes a day. Around $35 a year. Not life-changing money. But it's also $6 worth of supplies replacing $40 worth of brand-name dish soap. That's a 6-to-1 ratio on something you use every single day. 2 things before you try this, because I'd rather you hear them from me. First, washing soda does not produce bubbles. If you're emotionally attached to the foam your dish soap makes, you'll be disappointed. The bubbles in commercial dish soap come from surfactants, not from cleaning power. Bubbles are marketing. The grease leaving your pan is what matters. But your brain may need a few days to adjust. Second, this is not safe on every surface. Aluminum pans will darken and pit if you use washing soda on them repeatedly. Anything with a waxed finish, like some butcher blocks or coated cookware, will lose the finish. Non-stick coatings, fine in small amounts, but skip the dry powder scrub on them. Stick to the dissolved solution. One more thing. If your tap water is extremely hard, you may see a slight white film on glasses after they air dry. That's mineral residue from the water, not from the washing soda. A splash of white vinegar in your rinse water clears it up instantly. The only thing that changed is whether you know this exists. $5 for a box that lasts 8 months, compared to about $15 in dish soap over the same period. That's $35 saved per year for one household. For a family of 4 doing more dishes, it's closer to $60. Multiply that across the 15 years I spent buying liquid dish soap, and that's a vacation I could have already taken. If this saved you money, it'll save someone you know money too. Send them the video. That's the test. $4.80 spent. $35 saved. See you next time.